morning, BadBoyHalo.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Did you just say thank you with the voice of someone still in bed at 5 p.m.?
Hi.
Do you want to do the show, yes or no?
After my nap.
What do you mean after your nap? You just woke up! I'm giving you the time of the introduction to get ready, and that's it. The weirdest talk show, where we talk about... What do we talk about again? Oh yeah, we choose a subject, but we don't choose the position we're gonna debate. The weirdest talk show. Almost every Thursday, but most of the time on other days at 5 p.m. EST on Only Hit.
Hey everybody, we are here. Welcome to the Thursday, sometimes other day, debate show. How are you guys doing? Teeny bit late, 12 minutes late, but we're on time. So basically, I have a special guest here today. Finn, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Finn. I'm most known for dressing up as a girl online.
Oh my goodness.
I like my ability to debate very controversial topics here.
Oh my goodness. Alright,
wait.
so this is gonna be pretty spicy. Anyway, so we have a very spicy topic for you guys today. So I'm BadBoyHalo. We have A6D, who is our host, and
Hi.
we have Finn, who's the special guest. This is gonna be pretty spicy, guys. Just keep that in mind. We tried to pick the most controversial topic that we could. I hope we haven't done this topic before. Have we done it before, A60? I don't think we have.
No, I don't think
But
we
we might
did. We
have.
did something similar, but I don't think we did this one in particular.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that, essentially, I want to make sure I'm phrasing it right. So let's go ahead. The topic for everybody, it is pretty spicy. Okay? And it's going to be, and
That's
for
weird.
anyone who doesn't know how the debate show works, let me do a quick explanation. Essentially, we pick a topic, randomly debate it. One of us picks one side randomly, the other of us picks the other side, and then we argue it as if that's our actual position and that's what we believe. And then we go at it, have a super intense debate, and then at the end, you guys vote for who you thought defended their side the best. And then that's pretty much it. Whoever gets the most votes wins. Now, the topic that we picked for today is pretty spicy. I was gonna say, it's gonna be probably our most controversial topic. Because a lot of you guys, and I'm not even saying that, this will probably be our most controversial topic. Okay? It is, should furries be banned? What do you think? Is that a good kind of summation?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I know,
can't wait.
we picked a very
Very controversial. That's
and just
amazing.
I'll get this out of the way, okay? Regardless of what is said from this point on, does not necessarily mean that anybody here has anything against furries or anything like that. This is anything we say is just for the debate show. Okay, don't take it seriously. Okay, we just wanted to pick a fun topic.
All opinions are my own.
Okay, he's embracing his opinion, so I wonder what you will get. All right, okay, so we'll do. We'll flip for who will be in favor of banning furries. Do you want heads or tails, Finn?
I think in the I can't say heads. It's got to be tails tonight.
Tails. Okay.
Tails. For
So if the coin lands on tails, you are in favor of banning furries. If it lands on heads, I'm in favor of banning furries. Okay? Here we go. All right. Hey Siri, flip a coin. Hold on, Siri didn't hear me.
Hang on. I'm still waiting.
We're like in the age where you can't even flip a regular coin. You gotta ask a virtual assistant to do it for you.
Well, how are you gonna see it otherwise? Okay, hold on. My other phone heard it for some reason. It was weird. Okay, let's do this one. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
You see, we have a really advanced
Heads.
technology.
It looks like Siri said heads, so I guess I'm in favor of banning furries.
Okay, I'm arguing for furries,
Yes,
right?
you are against banning furries. So let's go ahead and summarize what we mean by banning furries. We will just say banning. What would we call like furries? As far as like, what do we mean by that? Like
oh yeah, because there's the extent where people dress up as furries, and then there are people that just kind of like the idea of it, like for some.
So are we just banning? Are we banning like participation? Are we banning public participation in furries? Are we just banning the online content?
They're not allowed to gather in one space at one time for too long.
So are we just proposing a ban on furry conventions or dressing up as furries in public?
Should we say publicly being a furry? Because that works pretty well with online.
We'll just say you're banning publicly identifying as a furry.
No more furrycon.
Would that include showing up in a fursuit at a furry convention?
Yes.
So you could still go to a furry convention, you just couldn't be dressed in any way that identified you as a furry, or not?
Yeah, I think you'd have to be like a spectator thing at that point, right? Like, if you were going to go to a furry convention and it was banned, then you'd have to pretend that you weren't, I guess?
Well, I guess just you couldn't be displaying anything in such a way that someone would be able to look at you and identify you, oh, that person is a furry, kind of thing. So fursuits would be off. Or would fursuits be allowed? Because technically no one knows who you are.
No, that definitely counts. That's one of those arrested on site, I think.
Arrested on site. Fursuits are arrested on site.
We're going with like almost Nazi Germany rules of this. I think.
So you would really still be allowed to act as a furry online, as or engage in furry communities. Just anything publicly attached to you, dressing up as a furry in public, going around with furry paraphernalia or whatever, would automatically be classified as you're violating the law. So furries would be pushed to the underground, essentially. Okay. All right.
As if they already aren't.
Yeah. Are you ready, fam?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, just remember, guys, anything we say from this point on is not necessarily our actual opinion. Do you want to trade positions, Finn?
I'm like trying to switch my mindset because I think I'm more on the side of like banning them.
If you want to be, you know what? Because you're the guest, I will let you choose. If you want to flip, I'm willing to let you take the position on banning them.
I'm so happy to be the bad guy of today. So I'll should we switch?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Let's switch. Okay.
I'll be the bad guy. I can't wait.
I will defend furries. Okay, hold on. I'm rethinking.
And I'm never gonna let you live it down.
Oh my god. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute.
Oh, the fan art that's gonna be after today of BadBoyHalo Furry.
Hold on, stop! Don't stop it! Okay, okay. It's too late. Let's go. Alright, so I am defending furries. I'm against the furry ban. You are in favor of the furry ban. You want to bring out the removal of furries from the public society.
I'm in the street with pitchforks, with torches, both hands. I'm part of the movement.
Well, do you mean leashes and kennel crates? Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Exactly.
I couldn't resist.
I'm with like you know, like people use lassos but with a leash. Just
okay.
Ready.
Let's go. Oh my goodness. Okay.
This is gonna go so dumb.
So this starts with opening arguments. Do you want to go first or second for opening argument?
I'll go second, I think.
Okay, I'll go first then. Yeah. Alright, my opening arguments are remember, anything said from this point on is not necessarily our actual opinion. Alright, I'm just gonna open up. Furries are great. They bring a wide variety of culture and variety to our society. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
sorry, I got a little distracted. But furries are great. They add a wide variety of extra culture to our society. They keep things interesting. You never know when you're gonna run into a furry. They spur the economy, right? Furry conventions a great boon to the economy. Fursuits are apparently really expensive, so that adds a market for people to manufacture them. The point is, furries bring a lot. They also a lot of furries are artists, so it helps give artists content that they can draw and create, and it creates aspiring artists to grow up and practice their talent and earn money doing commissions, etc., etc. Furries are great, especially for the economy.
Okay.
All right, Finn, your turn.
So I was like, at some point I was like typing down like what I wanted to say about that, because furries are great for the economy. Who do you think is buying the fursuits? Because it's usually like the parents of people that are buying the fursuits. There's a fantastic video online of the. Have you ever heard of the Insane Clown Posse? One of the band member of that is the dad of a girl or guy, I can't remember, that's a furry, and they're talking about how they bought a furry suit. You know how much money they are?
Hundreds of dollars, I believe.
Thousands, man.
Thousands?
Yeah.
What?
So
That is expensive.
I know, it's far too much. So I'm almost arguing for far too much. But it's the parents paying for them a lot of the time. It's not necessarily the actual furries. And and another thing. With art, BadBoyHalo. Have you seen the art that exists for furries? Have you ever been on DeviantArt, BadBoyHalo?
Like, well, wait. Go ahead and finish your
answer
opening
the question.
arguments. Go ahead.
Have you ever been on DeviantArt?
Well, of course, at some point, I
Have you
have.
ever searched for furries on DeviantArt?
I have not.
I rest my case. I mean,
Okay. Well, that was opening arguments. Now let's get into back and forth. So this is kind of the part where we just have a back and forth discussion on the topic. So
I
you
think I
can
already went
chime
back
in.
into that. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so I don't get why you're hating on furries so much, okay? Like, if people want to express their artistic talents in what we consider strange ways, why should that, be any of our business? Let people draw their furry stuff or make their fursuits. Like, who cares, right?
Okay. Well, I think that, like, it's like an iceberg in my head, right? Like, there's the top of it that I think what a lot of people see, which is like the art being drawn and like people going through conventions. But there's a lot beneath the iceberg. Like, I feel like there is this like subculture, right? And it's mainly denounced by the people on top of the iceberg, but there's a lot of the people under, right? It's like There are words for this, BadBoyHalo, and they're technically PG. I don't know how PG this debate is.
Keep it.
Can I say things?
Keep it rated G for everyone. No.
Right, I'm gonna say a word, and I highly advise nobody Googles it, but it's a complete... Right.
Be careful here.
No, it's nothing swearing, it's nothing like
Okay.
that, but no one Google it. Right, there's an activity called yiffing, right? Now, it doesn't mean anything to most people, but for the people that know what it means, and I don't know if you do know what it means,
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Wait, do you know A60?
No.
Okay. You know how... Oh, God. You know what everyone secretly thinks furries do? It's that. But basically, that exists, and that's what most...
Okay.
Well, sorry, not most. It's what a lot of the art on DeviantArt's for, which is why I have a problem with the art thing.
Look, you say, using your iceberg analogy, that the whole furry culture is like an iceberg, then it doesn't matter what's beneath the surface. It just matters what we can see. And if what most people see looks somewhat normal, if a little odd, then that's fine. Yeah, all that stuff beneath the surface of the waves, let that be. That's only the furries are saying that. They can just go ahead and do their furry stuff. Right? Like, do people going to furry conventions in these fursuits or whatnot, that doesn't hurt anyone. They're just like, how is that any worse than like Comic-Con, right? Or something like that. Like, it's just people dressing up and having fun.
Oh, BadBoyHalo. Have you ever heard of Rainforest?
I have, and I know what video. I've seen that video.
Let me enlighten the audience.
Like, this PG.
Oh.
Just the fact that Bad has just gone, no, don't tell them. We need to keep this PG. Should tell you exactly how bad a furry convention really is. So, I'm gonna keep this as PG as I possibly can, but Rainforest was a convention set up for furries by furries. I'm advertising it the exact same way they did. And they rented out a hotel called the Hilton, and there's a fantastic video online about this by Internet Historian. But they basically proceeded to destroy the entire hotel. They caused tens of thousands of dollars in damages. People were arrested, people were sent to hospital. There was like contamination, there was some waste issues. There was people that weren't even involved at the convention. They weren't even staying in the same hotel that had like cars vandalized. They had the people that were staying in the hotel. Good lord, man! They had to deal with a bunch of furries that were not acting the best, partaking in illicit substances, just general degeneracy all around. They Rainforest, highly suggest you research that video on Internet Historian if you really need more evidence.
So, while Finn is raising a valid point in that Rainforest historically did have a lot of problems, here's the point that he's missing here, is one, there are literally dozens of furry conventions that happen throughout the year that do not run into these issues, and according to the same source that he is getting this information from, most of these issues were being caused by a very small subset of people. I want you guys to think of any communities you're in and then think of the worst actors in that community, okay? The point is, there are going to be bad people in any community. Yes, there are bad furries, but they're literally any community, any convention, anything like that, you're going to have bad people. So to say that there were furries causing problems, yes, of course they were. But was it because they were furries? No. A lot of the stuff that they were engaging in, such as the drug use, was stuff that literally anybody would have been doing. It's not the fact that they were furries that were making them drug addicts. So I think he's taking, and Finn is embellishing aspects of the community as if they're part of that community. It's not. Those are things that are just kind of part of the general culture, not necessarily the furry culture. So, just saying. Think a little bit of clarification, I think. But look, the point is, you know what ends up happening with all those furry conventions? The majority of them go off without a hitch, no problems. Only Rainforest is the one that comes to mind that people can think of any general problems, and that's just because it's the most publicized one. So the point is, you have literally dozens of free conventions that go off without a hitch, provide plenty of revenue for the hotels and the convention centers who host them. How is that bad? That's good for the economy, and it's good for people to get out and experience, things with other people and interact with society.
Okay, so are you saying that basically a lot of the problems occurred because there were furries in public?
I am saying that the problems occurred because there are bad people in every community. So yes, there were bad furries, but they weren't bad because they were furries. They were just bad actors.
Bad furry.
No, not bad furries. Bad people who happen to be furries.
Bad dog, get down off the car. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry. Okay. In all fairness, I agree. There is some furry conventions that go off without a hitch, without any problems, without any strange goings on. But I will say again, these all arise from furries being furries in public. Not many problems spring up online, besides like a few that I don't know if I could talk about, because they're like very publicized, like people that are also furries. They're very bad. I won't argue on that point because it seems unfair. furries are bad in every other way. I can think of different ones. I don't need to bring up a few bad actors. But it all stems from furries being furries in public. I say they be kept in their room, in their cages, in their in their kennels, and they can practice what they like. Give them a laptop. Make sure give them MS Paint. They can do MS Paint, DeviantArt in their cage. That's all I'm saying. When they go in public, things go wrong.
But that's exactly the point you're bringing up, is you're saying that in public is when you're having these bad actors and this bad behavior come to light. Maybe that's because they're being relegated to the corners of the internet. I think that human exposure, that societal exposure is good for them. If anything, we need to get them out into public more so that they can get exposed to other people and have more social interactions. Okay, that's just my thinking. I'm thinking if we did that, maybe we would have less of these rainforest type events.
At the expense of the public, though. You'd want more furries outside so they can do harm to non-furries.
Well, people can benefit from a furry convention without being furries. Like, haven't you ever been to, like, Walt Disney World or, like, some amusement park where there are people walking around? Oh, wait, you live in the UK, so maybe...
Is Mickey Mouse a furry?
No, but the point is, if you've ever been to a place where they're, like, their mascots or, like, they have little costume characters, even if you're not, like, a fan or excited about that, it's still like, you're like, oh wow, that's something weird or interesting or bizarre. And so even people who aren't into the furry culture can examine it and go, wow, that's really weird, and they can appreciate it for the weirdness that they view it as. Okay? You don't have to. It's exactly like the zoo. You don't have to be a part of something to be able to just observe it.
Okay. So there might be a point to be made as having it like a zoo-like enclosure where the public can be allowed in for a fee. However, I think in general society. Sorry, let's get to the very zoo. What a good place to take like a first date. I think that a lot of the problems arise from it becoming in public. I think it's mostly fine when it's online. However, it's when I've seen a furry in real life, right? And it was
saw one in the wild?
I've seen one in the wild. They were wearing a fursuit head and they had normal clothes on, but they had the paws, right? They had paws and a head on.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were out. I was out shopping with a friend. And there was this furry basically just standing, just kind of going about their own business. And so naturally, seeing a furry in the wild for the first time is very shocking. I'd say that I gained significant health problems from it over the long term because of my heart. But I saw one in the wild, and it was just there. It was quite concerning for everyone nearby. I mean, my city is a lot like New York, where everyone is just kind of doing their normal day-to-day life and going to work, and no one wants to pay any attention to something. But a furry stopped all that in its tracks. So I don't think that they are a benefit to the economy because it stopped people from getting to work that one time. You see, it stopped people from shopping. It was a public nuisance.
So if you saw another furry, you're saying you'd have the same reaction?
I'd class it as public indecency.
Okay, look. Just like any culture, okay, or anything new, right? Yeah. The first time you're exposed to anything new, a new culture or something like that, you're going to have that initial, my goodness, what am I seeing reaction, right? That doesn't mean that thing is bad. Sometimes that thing can be good. Sometimes that thing can bring good aspects. I can't name what those good aspects would be from the furry community off the top of my head. But the point I'm getting at is there are probably some good things about that community that society could potentially benefit from. But the only way we're going to find out what those things are is if we just let the furries be furries. And then, we can figure out what those things are as we go along.
So, your argument is, let's just see how bad it gets before we need to stop it.
Well, you keep saying it's bad. The only example of I would say bad thing is that we can think of in the furry community or what happened at Rainforest. And again,
Can you think of any good things?
again, they spur the economy. They encourage artists to get into the field and practice and hone their skills.
I wouldn't say more than any other hobby. Like if you were a skier, then you'd probably spend more money on skiing equipment than a furry would being a furry.
Okay.
I think it's just
how's that a bad thing that these people have that as their hobby, just being a furry?
I'd say they could find a different hobby.
But what if they don't want to find a different hobby? What if they want that to be their hobby?
Well, see, this is the base of the argument. I think I think that if it could be replaced with a different hobby, then any other hobby, bar a few, are better than being a furry. I think that if you wanted to be an artist, that you could be an artist, but just don't draw the furries. You're inspiring a community is not. I dislike them. I have a sincere hatred for all furries, any and all.
It's sincere hatred.
A sincere hatred. Yes.
But are the furries hurting you? They're not. You're going about your day to day. You interact. I'm sure you interact with a bunch of furries online. They're not negatively affecting you by having their own hobby any more than people who like sports are negatively affecting you. If you happen to not be that big into sports, it's like I don't see any of the furries going, "Oh, we need to ban people who like football or rugby or anything like that." No,
I say it's a hit to my mental health.
It's a hit to your mental health.
I see a furry. I see some drawn furry profile picture. Sometimes I see actual pictures.
You seem to run into a lot of furry pictures for someone who's not actively looking for furry pictures. Apparently,
they stand out in my mind. It's like
stand out.
They stand out in my mind like a sore thumb. I can remember every single one I've seen. It's probably
Are you remembering?
10, but that has had a significant enough impact on me that I can remember them. And I say that's a negative impact. That's hurting people. It's hurting me.
But are you remembering them because they're so shocking, or because you want to remember them?
One of them told me ooh woo. One of them told me ooh woo.
Ooh woo?
That hurt me. I went to bed that night crying.
Okay. If you say so. I don't know. I'm seeing some people in the chat saying Bin Furry E-Girl. What's your name? I don't know. Some people are suggesting it.
But I guarantee you I can find a furry on my Twitter if you give me like 30 seconds. I guarantee you I can find one.
There are plenty of furries on Twitter. Like,
I know.
we're all aware of that. And the point
I bet you follow some. I guarantee.
I probably do. Is Twitter a worse place for having the furries on it? I would argue it's not any worse than any other of the online internet communities, and I would argue that it's probably better than some other ones. So if anything, we shouldn't be banning furries. We should be banning some other worse groups, if we were going to be banning anyone at all.
I would argue that there are no worse groups.
That you think furries are the worst group?
Sorry. I think that furries are among the top 5.
Top 5? Okay, well, I would just respectfully disagree.
Okay. We can respectfully disagree on the top 5 thing. That's more just my opinion, but...
Just your opinion.
I think that there's like the subculture of they're all in one box to me. They're like... Oh, what on earth is that?
One box, don't you mean?
Oh, sorry, I'm playing
kennel?
something on Twitch there.
What?
I'm sorry, there's too many.
There's like there's stan accounts, there's furries, and there's anime profile picture people on Twitter. And they're all like in one. Like if it was a Venn diagram.
And there's
like,
anime
really
furry stan accounts.
You're offending a wide group of people. You should be careful. These are people who will have to vote at the end of the debate.
So, I guarantee you, when we do this poll, everyone that votes for BadBoyHalo is a furry.
Well, you just lumped anime profile people and stan accounts in with the furries.
Anime profile pictures are not equally as bad as furries. Furries are only worse than anime profile picture accounts. because they exist in real life as well. Anime profile picture. I just saw it 63. I think that I don't mind online. Online maybe provokes my mental health a little bit. However, in real life, it's 10 times more shocking. They create more harm than they create good. I've never seen a furry working in a charity shop. Have you?
Have I ever seen a furry working in a charity shop? Is that what you said?
Yeah. You ever seen one of those? You ever seen them working in a soup kitchen? I don't think so.
Well, that's the point. Is you can't tell because they don't walk around with their fursuits in public. That's for something they reserve for conventions or whatever. All I'm saying is, I'm sure there have been people who are furries, right? Who have volunteered for soup kitchens and charities and things like that.
Yes. Well, I think that's fine if they're not encroaching on the rest of society with their fursuits, and I'll give you a bit of leeway here, a little middle ground, and that's fine. I think when they're in conventions and they're wearing their fursuits and they're wearing their paws, and how do they go to the bathroom in those? That's my main question.
How do they take the paws off?
Do you pee out your hands?
No, they probably take the fursuits off, obviously, to use the bathroom. I don't know. How does a mascot use the bathroom? They take the mascot suit off, okay?
It affects their functioning, right? See, okay, there's a theory of mental health, right? I took psychology for 4 or 5 years. 4 years. In the DSM-5, which is the psychology textbook, right? If you haven't heard of it, the American one, right? A lot of disorders are diagnosed by meeting certain criteria, and one of them is if it hurts your level of functioning. If it decreases your level of functioning, if your hobby hurts how you can survive, then it's a mental disorder.
But society is always changing the definition of survival, okay? Back in the day, when everybody had to farm, anything that, hurt your ability to farm could be considered a mental disorder. Now, because you have no need to farm, there are plenty of things you can be engaging in and doing that aren't going to impede your ability to provide for yourself.
That's what I mean, but But we've got to speak from a modern point of view. If, let's say, you've got a task to do, let's say your only task to do to survive, as it is for me, is make YouTube videos. If I start making an activity that that negatively impacts my ability to make YouTube videos, like I broke my camera for no reason, other than wanting to break a camera, then I feel like there'd be a mental thing, there'd be a disorder there, there'd be a point to be made there.
So you're saying furries have mental disorders?
I'm saying that people that go... I'm saying...
Caramel!
I'm saying if you go into a convention and you're wearing a fursuit, then it could be considered a negative impact on your mental health to the point where you may need help.
Okay, would you say someone who shows up to a sporting event wearing a jersey for their favorite team with their face painted and those foam fingers on their hands, would you say that they need mental health?
The foam fingers on the hands and the face painted tips it over the edge. Yes, I'd say
tips it over the edge. So an enthusiastic fan.
If you're too enthusiastic about one topic,
mental health.
Yeah.
See, I would disagree with you. I think just because someone is passionate, I don't think a furry showing up to a fur convention in a fursuit is any worse than, say, somebody showing up to, like, Comic-Con or some comic book convention dressed as a superhero. It's not bizarre at all. In fact, that's the place for it. If anything, that's where it is societally acceptable. And it's not, there are plenty of furries who are functioning individuals who go to work and earn a living, and it's a hobby for them, or it's a passion for them, and just, who cares?
Cosplayers are more providing. That's not for other people. That's not for them. That's for other people. A lot of cosplayers do that so they can like. It's one of those things of like they show off their artistry, stuff like that, right? But I see it, but it's a completely different thing. I think that it's close. I think that it's not nearly the same though. There's like a commute. You can make money from doing cosplay. You can do that. You can actually talk to people. You're showing your face. You're not trying to hide from society like some sort of criminal. Sorry, I'm just picturing a bank robber.
I have a question for you. Would you also to ban furries who dress up as, say, fish or aquatic creatures?
Yes.
Then maybe you should change your name, Finster.
God damn it! I'm leaving this guy.
Okay, we're gonna do a song break.
We'll be right back.
I don't go outside. If I was going outside,
I mean, we can actually do a song break.
Avatar. If I was, huh?
No, like.
Do you want to take a song break, Finn?
Alright, fine. Fine.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Sure.
Fine.
Okay. Lewis Capaldi before you go. That's right now on Only Hit.
Hey everybody, and we're back. Alright, we'll go a teeny bit more freestyle, and then we'll get into closing arguments in a bit. Alright, so Finn, where were you at when you were talking before we went on break?
Oh yeah, so I think your argument was that if would it be okay to dress up as a fish? And I said no, and you said my Minecraft character, and also it's not a fish. I don't think it is. Is that from that 2012 meme? I don't know if it's a fish. But no, if I was going outside in the same way that someone that plays Minecraft a lot will go outside dressed in a full Steve outfit all the time, okay, that would be a little strange, would it not?
Most furries are going out dressed all the time like that. They're not wearing their fursuits all the time.
My point is that they shouldn't be allowed outside.
What? Well, they're not hurting anyone by being horrific, okay?
Horrific? What?
That's probably a phrase they say. Like, the point is...
That sounds like generalizing. That sounds like you're assuming...
They're not hurting anyone, okay? They're just going around, going to furry conventions. Like, I have no problem with them. They're spurring the economy. And you're just hating on them, okay? If you go on Amazon, there's tons of furry products that people are creating and buying, okay? Is any of that any worse than, like, anyone buying any other costume products? I personally don't think so.
I would argue in the sense of that. I think we were saying on the break here that a lot of the stuff that I want to argue with is stuff that I can't say because you've got some stupid PG rules. A lot of this stuff is there. I'm just looking at A60's cap. A lot of the stuff that furries do that I dislike is non-PG, you see. Now that's as far as I can say. But if you go online and you search for a fairy tale on Amazon, you will 100% know what I mean.
Look, there are people in every community, in every aspect of life, who engage in what people would consider to be bizarre behavior, okay? But the point is, when those people are doing their thing, it's not hurting me when someone else is doing something weird that only affects them. And someone dressing a certain way in public just to go to their convention or whatever, that's their thing. I don't have to go to a furry convention, so I'm not going to be exposed to that. Okay, and even if I came across a random furry in public, maybe I could just take that moment to appreciate how bizarre and weird their furry culture is. There's an appreciation you can get from just observing something that you find different or strange.
Bizarre and weird, huh?
Hey, to each their own.
You saying they're bizarre and weird?
All I'm saying is that just because I don't happen to enjoy something doesn't mean that somebody else shouldn't be allowed to enjoy that thing if it's not hurting anyone but themselves. And that's assuming that it is hurting themselves. No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying if it happens to be harming someone and it's only hurting themselves, if nobody's getting harmed by something except potentially that person, then let that person do what they want. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts.
I think that I would disagree with that they may hurt or pose a significant threat to other people. Most of the creatures that they dress up as are dogs, foxes, sometimes cats, sometimes dinosaurs. All of which predators, may I mind you, in the animal kingdom. I say that their persona, their personality on the inside is based on an animal that's a predator, meaning that they may cause significant harm to the public.
Okay, well, now you're just being crazy. You're calling the guy who dresses up as a wolf furry isn't gonna just jump somebody and go rawr and try and
they do say rawr to a lot. They do rawr at people in public.
Let them say rawr. If they want to rawr it up, let them rawr it up.
XD. I'd say that the events of Rainforest are it's a drop in the water. I think that there are other stories that may. I think the media is covering it up. I think there's a mass global conspiracy about fake news, CNN.
Okay. Here, let's go ahead and let's get into closing arguments. Do you want to go first for closing arguments or second?
I'll go first. I think that.
All right, you get like maximum of 5 minutes, but you don't have to talk that long. But go ahead, and you'll get a closing sentence after I give my closing arguments. So go ahead.
I think that furries should be delegated their own little space. I think that furries as a people should be like considered almost a protected class, but different all the same. I think that there should be a space for furries, but not public, not our space, not breathing our air, not sorry.
This is going really badly, this part.
Okay, I'll be more normal and less harsh. I think that furries should completely have their own little space, but I feel like if they're going out in public and they're going to conventions, a lot of the time they cause nuisances. A lot of times they will. It's more adults. I will give that. Adults being bad adults, but I think the furry culture inspires those people in order to commit some actions that they probably shouldn't, as the events of Rainforest mirror. Those are my arguments.
Okay. Look, my general position is this. Should we ban furries? No. Because furries are not hurting anyone at all. They're just sitting around being furries. They're going to their conventions. They're spurring the economy. They're providing artists with content for commissions. The point is, if anything, furries are a net gain on their society. Just because people find them weird, because they don't know the furry culture, they don't understand them, doesn't make them any more weird than the anime culture, the anime community, or anything like that, right? Or sports communities, or comic book conventions, etc. Okay? And just because, if the point is, if we're gonna go around and ban furries for being furries, then what's the next step? What, we ban people for liking anime? We ban people who like dressing up as e-girls on the internet? Like, the point is... We should! The point is, what is the next step? If we ban furries, where will this trail of banning stuff end? I say let furries be furries and just leave them alone. Alright, you get a closing sentence, Finn, before I post the poll.
Okay. If you vote for BadBoyHalo, you're a furry.
Goodness. Okay. Alright, well, there you have it, guys. I'm gonna go and post the poll in reply to my tweet about the podcast. Let's go ahead and post it. Who won the debate at Finster or myself? Remember to vote for who you thought defended their point the most.
And while you post the poll, I'm gonna launch a song because we have like 5 minutes for the poll. So Mike Perry, The Ocean, that's right now on the hits.
Go vote.
Go vote at Saints of Games on Twitter.
We're back. Hey everybody, we're back. Sorry. Look at the,
usually when I say
totals.
we're back, that means shut up. We're gonna hear a part of
I'm
your
sorry.
sentence.
I couldn't hear you because I turned you down because you were playing the music and it was really loud. Anyway, okay, hey guys, we're back. So I'm gonna post a really quick poll in the Twitch chat, and I just want you guys to vote the same way that you voted on Twitter.
He thinks they're
hold
botting
on.
because I'm winning.
No, I
Yeah.
think
No, like he thinks there's bots, but that's literally the same amount
No,
of votes. Every single
it's not.
show
I just want to. I just
within
want to
50
verify
votes.
that we're not. No. I'll explain in a second. All I want is you guys to vote. Hold on.
We have
Let me do
260 votes. Every single show we have between 180 and 250.
Here we go. Poll description.
Are you sad that you're losing?
No, I don't mind. I just want to double check really quick. So let's do Finn. Sir, hold on, guys. Okay, this is what I want. Everybody to vote based on exactly how you voted on Twitter. Okay? Just vote the same. Okay, and then Ty and didn't tune in. I expect we won't get as many didn't tune ins because
This is a desperate ploy.
Literally,
in order to
I'm
gain more
scrolling.
votes.
I'm scrolling. I see
Just vote the same
240
way.
votes, 235, 200, 187, but it was when you
Look,
were
just
debating alone.
post it.
336,
Are you gonna
369
post it or
votes,
not?
438 votes, 390 votes, 255, 419. That's literally
goodness.
the amount
Are
of
you
votes we
going to
usually
post
have.
it? Just post it, A60. I don't need your commentary.
Wow.
Post it in the Twitch. Anyway, the point is, going off of the Twitter, Finn, you won with 35% of the vote. How do you feel? People
feel good.
in the chat they were convinced by your ideology and they want to ban.
You do know we are not
happy?
gonna have the exact same amount of votes because there
No,
is
I
Ty
know.
and didn't tune in, and
I know.
didn't tune in. If you send it in Twitch,
Oh my goodness! I already covered that. I just want people to vote the exact same way. This is something
well,
we're
that's
gonna
still
do every
Finster
week.
first.
Yeah, no, that's
Hey.
good. If it's ending up the same way, that's good. I just want to make
Okay.
sure. All we're doing is making sure we're not
was-
getting someone botting the tweets.
I was saying in celebration, I'll wear like for Easter, I'll do like little 20 years.
Wait, that means I can put that means I can put this sound. Congratulations, Finn. You did it. You won on your first debate.
Oh,
Finn,
oh.
are you happy?
I'm so happy.
You
It always
won.
worked.
But all right, everybody, we are official. It is official. We are banning furries from the internet. Any furries we see from this point. So what should happen to furries from this point on, Finn?
Hold on, go watch the stream, I'll show you.
Oh my goodness,
Oh.
where's it going?
Oh, I heard the sound. I don't even want to look at the camera.
Finn!
I'm kidding.
I assume that's like an airsoft gun or something.
Yeah, I'm in the UK, there's no way that's gonna be real. It's a
Anyway.
little plastic BB gun.
Guys, come on, it's just plastic. Anyway. But so the reason anyway, thank you, Vin. So quick explanation. So guys, last week I was a little bit worried looking at the numbers. I am not sure. There were some odd things with the poll, but I think it was just Twitter being funky. In how they were just
It's
playing the
because he
results.
lost as well.
No. So it was just Twitter being funky with how they display the results as the results turning in. I don't mind losing. I wanted to verify just to alleviate my concerns that someone was potentially botting
Do you
it.
want to get a lawyer
don't-
to verify the votes?
I don't think anyone is, so I think we're good. Just
The
wanted to
next
double check.
vote, you need to submit your IDs.
Anyway, no, but thank you everybody for participating in the second poll. Just so that we could verify we don't have any Twitter botting issues. Anyway, thank you everybody. Finn, congratulations again. You did a great job.
Oh,
It's a
thank
good
you.
job.
Thanks so much. Like, you did a really good job in the debate as well. You had a couple that were you had me there for a sec.
I gotta say I underestimated people's hatred of furries. I did not think it would be as strong as it was. So
I think that I obviously I don't feel as strongly as I portrayed, but you know.
no, you made your hatred for furries very clear. So everybody remember, he said at the start that any opinions he stated were his actual opinions. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, guys, anything we said during the debate was not necessarily our actual opinion. Finn did a great job. I definitely want to have you back, Finn. Are you down to come back for a future debate?
Yeah, that was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
Excellent. Perfect. All right, Finn, anything you want to promote before we head out?
Go check out my second channel. It's just called Finn. It's e-girl Finn dedicated almost.
Oh my god,
Alright.
e-girl Finn.
All right.
Oh, it's not PG though. I'll say that for a lot.
Go check out his second channel, E-Girl Finn.
It's just Finn. It's called Finn.
Finn.
Well,
Okay.
I wrote
Wait,
Finn,
so it's
and
not
e-girl.
It comes up. Oh god damn it! It's no. It's very fun. I like the channel. a
Oh my
lot.
goodness.
Oh.
Anyway, guys, thank you. Follow me at Twitter at Saints of Games. And A60, you want to take us away?
Yep, as usual, you can listen to the podcast if you missed a part on Deezer, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, the website and also on YouTube. You type Only Hate or The Weirdest Talk Show, you can find it. We also have a website, onlyhate.us, and sometimes people think like that Only Hate is just the podcast. No, it's a whole radio station. So if you want to tune in, it's up 24/7, and we play basically your best sets. Cindy Scott is coming right now. Goodbye.
Bye.